What's up?
I'm Eric.
And this is Hanna.
This is the Mental Moshpit, where we really talk about all things music, mental health, and today's episode is going to be on balance.
Balance of different passions and
Yes.
jobs.
Passions and balance.
And balance.
Hanna can do like a handstand where she's literally like, what is that called?
Arm stand.
Is it like an inversion or something like that?
Yeah, good job.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
All right.
Impressive.
It's pretty cool. It's cool to watch. You have a lot of upper body strength. It's badass.
Thanks.
Yeah. I pity the fool that ever tries to take your milk while you're walking out of the grocery store.
Watch me pick up this half keg.
I bet you do pick up half barrels given what you do as a bartender.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's not lightweight.
Mm-mm.
Yep, they're quite heavy.
One time they were like, go pick up a full keg. And I was like, yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
And then I went there and I was like, oh, fuck.
They are not lightweight. They're actually, believe it or not, 190 pounds.
Yeah, no wonder. I could not.
Depending on how the brewery fills it. Don't ask me how I know that.
I know.
In a previous life.
So passions.
Yeah, passions. Let's talk about that.
So obviously music is one of our passions, but we also both have many passions outside of music as well.
Correct.
So, well, that's one of mine. Bartending, making drinks, making cocktails, making mocktails.
You are an excellent mixologist.
Thanks. It doesn't have to include alcohol. I like making drinks.
That's true. You've even made me some yummy like coffee drinks and even different teas. Hanna makes an amazing chai, like from scratch chai tea with all the herbs.
Thanks. It's really yummy. I haven't made that in a while.
You haven't made that in a while.
That sounds pretty good, though. I made some
Hint.
honeys. Heard. I made some infused honeys recently. Some CBD balm.
They are so good. Hanna will sell them to you, probably in very limited quality.
Yeah.
Quantity.
Eric.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It's high quality.
Quantity.
It's
it's
high.
actually really high quality. I'm saying limited quantities. There we go. Much better.
Okay, good fix.
Because, yeah. By the way, this is Sunday morning. We are doing this one live today.
Yeah, we are.
We had a long week.
I have to work later today.
Yep, we had a real long
We're gonna
week.
do it. So I used to work at an herbalist's place, and I always used to make my own herbal products.
Just for clarification, so everybody knows, a Chinese, like a real Chinese herbalist.
Yeah, it was really cool. Besides the person, the boss. But anyways, I loved what I did, so now I can kind of take it and do it myself.
Yeah.
On my own, and I haven't really started selling it really besides coworkers.
Yeah.
But I would love to see if people liked my stuff.
I don't think and maybe this is me being biased, having been the benefactor of the things that you make.
You're like the number one.
Yeah, of course. I'm always like, can I be your taste tester?
I'm like, duh.
Yeah, but they're all really good. They're delicious. And so, I mean, today's episode, we're really talking about passions. Hanna has a load of passions. So do I. And today's episode, we're kind of talking about balance, which when things get unbalanced, I mean, think about an airplane. If it's unbalanced, it's not going to fly properly. Cars are kind of the same way. Even the reason I know the weight of a half barrel keg is because that's a lot of weight that I had to figure out for over-the-road trucking back when I used to load trucks with beer. My first real brewery job. And I mean, balance is a big thing in all areas of life. And it's amazing how much of a theme that's been in my life that is just repeated over and over of like, oh gosh, if you don't have balance,
Keeps being like the theme of the
shit
year.
is not really going the right way.
True.
Like, yeah. I mean, even think about your cocktails. Making a good cocktail, we watch this on
balanced.
Bar Rescue all the time. It has to be a balanced cocktail.
That's why, like, even there's people I'll see that make drinks that are like they don't count it or they don't measure it, and I'm like, you can do it correctly by counting in your head.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure you're not like over pouring certain things because it's not going to taste as good, and then people are going to be like, ew, why is this? Balance.
So let's look at our lives like one of the cocktails that Hanna would create for us. It's great to have a healthy balance. And in the same way, I like to think of it as the opposite way that we probably traditionally will think of it, is that you need to balance your life of the work life with fun. And this is something that is not typically talked about. Usually in this conversation of balance, it's usually talked about like, you need to do this, your obligations, otherwise, because you're doing too much of this, this, and this, otherwise your life is going to suffer. Well, I do want to bring up the other side of that. If you are just working all the time, and the reason I'm saying this is because I've felt this way recently, especially in 2024, that Hannah's
feed the snake
has an alarm. Feed the snakes. We have 2 Samboas, and they're delightful. Well, one of them's delightful. The other one's used to be really not nice, but it's... Yeah.
Then you let her get out, and then she got into the house and had to live on her own for a while. She had to fend for herself. Of course she's a little
she's
evil.
Eating wild rodents.
Wild
yeah, she's been
rodents.
evil ever since, but we've had her indoors for a couple of years now. She's happier, let's put it that way. But yeah, reptile lovers. Here you go. I look at her chicken like a reptile too when she's out there, because she is. She's like this like feathered reptilian. It's crazy.
Her legs kind of are reptile-y.
Oh,
chicken
Sharoni.
legs.
She's so fun. She didn't give us any eggs today though.
Sharoni, she likes her macaroni. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's she was eating macaroni, but I was like, your name is Sharoni.
Sharoni.
Anyway, the positive things. Like, I noticed recently that I have not been playing as much guitar, and I need to fix that. And really, my mentality.
What the fuck are you doing?
I know. Well, I've had sinus pressure almost every day for literally 9 weeks, and I mean, like, literally with the exception of 2 days. And so that's been a really out of whack balance for me, that I can't even enjoy doing music that I normally would like to do. So I noticed, like, gosh, I need to really mentally plan for the fact that I need more balance in the way of playing music or listening to music, which hasn't been fun as of late. At least I have my voice back, though, so I can at least sing again, or growl, scream, do the things that I really want to do. But I've had to mentally take note that, wow, I'm doing all these obligations and growing a business and doing podcast episodes and editing photos for us and doing all kinds of video work. And then I'm like, wow, cool. When do I get to reap some of the benefits or get a break or have something fun? Because that really is necessary for me. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy doing all of those other things, especially if they're getting us to a really awesome common goal. But dang, it's good to stop and smell the roses every once in a while.
Yeah, like we had a cabin weekend.
And that was incredible.
That was like stop and smell the roses. We stopped and smelled the pine trees and watched moose and...
Baby moose.
Baby moose, it was nursing.
Maybe we should post that as a reel, because it was a pretty incredible. But yeah, those things are very important to be able to add back in. Additionally, if I spent too much time fucking off in the forest and I didn't grow my business or I didn't do anything for As We Rise, I would kind of not feel good about where I'm at in life. I just wouldn't. It would be a defeating feeling. It's like we tend to feed ourselves these highs and things that we think we know that we need, and not focus on the root problem of it. It's kind of like the American healthcare. Let's put a Band-Aid over it. Let's treat the symptoms, not the problem.
Yep.
So I urge all of you to take a look, zoom out, take a deep breath, do some morning meditation, whatever gets you going. If you want to go pump iron in the morning and do some squats, like some huge, like, amounts of weight. Liam does all the powerlifting. Shout out, Fell Harvest. Liam, we're talking about you. That dude is a hoss, man. Like, there's a couple of people in the music scene that I know like that. And then you even think, like, national bands, the Phil Labonte from All That Remains, he's a bodybuilder. Same thing with John Petrucci from Dream Theater. These guys are, like, huge, and you would never have any idea. And then you see them in magazines, and you're like, you can power lift how much? Holy cow.
Yeah.
But
I think interestingly, to go along with this topic, remember we talked a couple days ago that we would, like, I was like, I'd been seeing so many things recently on, are you doing too much? Are you doing too much? Or hearing too much from people like, are you doing too much? And I was like, no, I'm not doing too much. Like, sometimes depending on what we're doing, yes.
Yeah.
And how our weeks are, we are doing too much. But of relating to my hobbies and balance in life with everything else, like, I think I just need to find a better flow, and it'll feel more balanced. And there's small little things I can cut out, like us going out to restaurants as much, which we've cut
done
that out
great.
so much.
We've done twice in the last like month.
But I'm just trying to think of things that like we used to spend our time doing. You know what I mean? And
Well, the big one is the TV.
Well, the TV
or
is
the doom scroll.
Yeah.
Like those are the worst things that I do that I'm doing better. Like I even get notifications on my phone. It's like, you used your phone 1 hour and 20 minutes less than last week, which is incredible.
Exactly.
I mean, if you think about that per day, it's actually a significant amount of time that you spend every day spending more time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool.
We could be doom scrolling this morning, or we could be recording a podcast, or going for a walk, or doing something else. Like, you have time for all your passions in life. Like, think about how many hours are in a day, how many hours are in a week, how many hours are in a month, how many hours are in a freaking year.
I am going to play devil's advocate, though. Do you know the main reason I don't typically do those things, though, and I default to some of these, like, simple highs and simple comforts?
Stress.
Not just that. Well, yes, it boils down to stress, but I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it makes me like this jittery, like in my brain, I don't physically look like this or act like this, but in my brain, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck between, and the big thing that therapists and all kinds of other people have told me over the years is do some action. Doing some action, like you could literally go wash the dishes, and when you do that, you finish doing the dishes and not thinking about whatever problem that you should be doing or whatever, it like almost realigns your brain. It's an incredible tool.
My old boss used to say, like, the one thing I took from that job that she used to say was, the art of washing dishes, I think is what she'd say. Or where you literally just don't focus on anything else and just wash dishes. Like, you literally just get in the mode of that and then just do one thing to move yourself forward. One thing to move yourself forward. It doesn't have to be stressful all the time.
Advice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I will say, though, I'm much happier with your mental health now that you are in, even though you are in a bartending kind of crazy environment, and bar environments are typically like high drama environments, but I am absolutely stoked that you are in a better spot with mental health, and you also don't have to drive 45 minutes to an hour each direction to that job.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for the change. Talk about balance.
Yeah, cut that down more and find more balance in that too, even. Where then I can have more balance with my art or with my yoga that I'm going to do. And like, I've started taking steps forward to actually be able to do these things, which is really exciting. And
well, you're an excellent planner though, too. And I think that all of this stuff that we're talking about takes planning. But it also doesn't need to be this extravagant thing. You could sit down and just mentally say, okay, these are the top 2 things I want to get done this week. How can I accomplish that? How can I make steps towards that goal? And doing those small little things, it's almost like washing the dishes, like what you talked about. It will actually help you in all other areas of your life.
I think it cut off your middle of your areas.
Oh.
Weird.
Ghost dog. Ghost dog.
Can you just picture a little ghost dog like clicking the keyboard to stop it?
It'd be awesome. It'd be like Cooper. Cooper will stick his nose into my guitars if I leave them down, which is why they're typically up on hangers on the walls or in the other room. But I'll wake up and Cooper just wants to play guitar. So he'll like push his nose, and then his tail hits the strings, and it goes ring. Like, yeah, he's awesome.
It's pretty cute.
But where was I?
All areas of your life.
Yeah, just finding balance is paramount in my life, at least.
Me too.
And I urge you, just in a small way, if you're feeling any of those feelings of anxiety in trying to find how to move closer to your goals and your dreams, just do some of these small activities, and I promise it will add value to your life in the way of balance and also in the way of just living a more connected, happier existence that is less filled with situational anxiety.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you spending time with us. Once again, Hanna is the badass vocalist of a now becoming regional band, As We Rise. We are from a very, very little town in northern Colorado of less than 2,000 people. So that's where we're doing this podcast on this very hot, almost 100-degree, supposedly, day. And I play guitar for this band and write a good chunk of the music and record podcasts and do all kinds of stuff. But we appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend it with us. And I tip my almost done coffee to you. Cheers. Hope you all have a fantastic week.
Yes. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you next Sunday.
Bye-bye.